Hello, YouTube. Jay Mason here, and I am joined with my mom, Carol. Together, we are Jay and Carol. Every Tuesday, we come to you guys live to talk to you about things that are related to an online business and just related to business in general. And we like to bring in a guest. So this week, we have the amazing Vanessa Vee. So I want her to kind of let everybody know who she is and a little bit about yourself. Vanessa, can you take the reins here?
Awesome. I have been working on the online space for 4.5 years now, and I am a paramedic of 21 years, and my career ended on a 911 call almost exactly a year ago. And, I came into the business, oddly enough, off of a different injury, where I was thrown in the back of the ambulance, 18 months of rehab, 9 months not walking, really. And at that time, I was desperate to find something else, thinking, what could I do where my body wasn't going to be beaten up and where I could have some residual income coming in and something that would work for me so I didn't have to keep busting myself so hard. And then oddly enough, when this happened again, and this truly did end my career, I didn't even have a huge fear because I realized the business is here. It's a security I've now built, and it takes work. It's legitimate, but not all of a sudden, boom, I have fancy everything. I didn't. I had small goals at the beginning, and it was like I wanted an extra $1,000 a month. And then I thought, well, what if I could replace my income? What if I didn't have to work overtime? I've always worked 7 days a week, multiple jobs. Even as a paramedic full time, I always had other jobs on the side. So this really helped me refocus and helped me realize, what do I need for myself? And I know our why is very often our children, which it for sure was when I first came into business. And now selfishly, it's more about me, which is crazy. But it's because I want more time with them on my terms. So, it's different. It's different. So that's kind of the short of this. I have been an entrepreneur before. I opened a restaurant when I was 20 and ran that for 5 years.
Wow.
And I've had multiple other businesses, but this is completely different. And being able to do it from anywhere, and we are so global. And to be able to travel, like in 2018, I took my youngest daughter on a trip to Europe for 5 weeks. And I worked the business the whole entire time with a goal that, could I pay for the whole thing? Could we track how much we were making? And so everyone could see as we traveled how much we were making. And would it pay for the trip? And it did. And
wow,
that was really, for me, that was inspiring to my own self, because I was like, I literally was doing coaching calls in all different countries during that 5 weeks. It was pretty awesome. It was pretty great. And then in 2019, I was able to pay for my oldest daughter's wedding, which, as a single parent with a single income, it's always been me. And that was something I didn't know that I would be able to pull off, and I did. And you can kind of see, I have a container that I bought for my younger daughter, and then I have a tiny home. We're attached by this huge deck. And that was kind of my goal at the beginning of this business, is how can we leave a busy city, live on a beautiful remote island, and slow life right down. And here we are.
That sounds like Mom's dream.
Oh my gosh. What an amazing and inspiring story you have, Vanessa.
Thank you. It wasn't easy, and it took a lot of guts. It took a lot of guts to think, am I really doing this? Am I leaving the security of the things I know, even though it was hideous on my body? And am I really going to just take that leap and believe I can do it? And I did. And I often forget to reflect on that and be proud. And this week I've actually been looking at old journals and thinking, wow, I did the things I said I was going to do. So I think we forget that along the way.
Yeah, as Mom always says, the power of writing it down, magic happens. So even journals that you don't think are ever going to come true, writing it out makes a big difference.
It's huge.
Yeah.
And I learned that from my mom.
Oh, really?
My mom always said, every time I said, oh, I want this, or oh, I want that, she said, write it down. There's magic in writing it down. Okay.
I had, as a mom, you'll relate. I had a really heart-wrenching moment one time when I asked my younger daughter, well, what do you dream about? Like, what do you want in your life? And she said, I don't have any dreams. And I was like, what do you mean you don't have any dreams? Like, it was crushing to me. And I thought, hold on, we got to work on a whole lot of things. and a vision board being one of them. However, part of that trip, I said to her, it was her graduation present, and I said, even if it's the only trip you ever do and you absolutely despise travel, I will feel as a mother that I've exposed you and opened that up. And if that's the last one, it's the last one. And now, we're planning other trips and thinking about where else would we love to go. So,
nice.
Writing things down, because that was on the wedding and the trip were both two things that I had no clue how I'd make them happen, but I wanted them and I wrote them down.
Amazing.
Beautiful. Yeah.
So I kind of want to bring us into our topic for today, which is getting over the fears of what others think. So how does that relate to a business in general? Well, a lot of people, when they're starting a business, they kind of stumble and they're scared to ask their friends to help them out in their business, no matter what business it is, everything in life. So
yeah, or even support. Just support me. I don't care if you join. I just want you to support me.
Exactly. Right? And then you get that fear in your head that, oh, they're not going to want to pay for this. I don't want to even ask them anymore, right? Like, yes. You just tell yourself these stories over and over again, and that's what they are, stories in your head that are stopping you from managing. Like I look back on other things that I've done in my life. Like I'm a makeup artist, so I finished makeup school, and then I was going to start doing freelance, and I wanted my friends to get their makeup done and things like that. But I was almost scared to even ask if they would pay for it, right? Even though this is where I was planning to make my money. So, there's all these stumbling blocks that you get when have these fears.
Such a common fear.
Yeah. Mom, do you have any stories about a fear about what other people are thinking? I know you have lots. So.
Well, I did an exercise years and years ago because I've been into self-development all my life. And one of those exercises was to ask why. Why do I want whatever it is I wanted? And then why do I want that? And then why is that the answer? And why and why and why? And it went down 7 levels deep to the core motive of my personality. And that core motive was being accepted by people. Mm-hmm. I wanted everything I did in life was to be accepted. There's a word I wanted, but I've lost it. But anyways, it means to be accepted.
And
everything
at every stage of your life, going through school. School's brutal. I loathe
school.
Absolutely,
yes.
Going through the difficult teens and the 20s when you're trying to become adults, and and then if you go through a marriage that breaks, and there's just so many things, right? And it's hard to be accepted and hard to be shunned, hard to be where people just cut you off. And I think that that's something interesting about this business, because you hear surround yourself with like-minded people. You hear that a lot, but what does it really mean? Well, until I came into the business, I don't think I weeded out enough people who were energy suckers on me and brought in more people who wanted to support me and lift me up, and who wanted to be lifted up, and who want to help other people. And I think that's huge. And that isn't something you find in every business, but definitely understanding that you need those people to support you. And if they support you, they are accepting you. But if they're not, letting go.
Yeah.
It's huge.
And that was my next step after I realized that acceptance was stopping me. Wanting to be accepted was stopping me from doing things that were really from the core of my being, right? I was doing all kinds of things to be accepted. I mean, I became a dance instructor. I was a singer for a while. I owned a franchise, and those things were successful, but
not filling your
really
bucket.
To be accepted because people loved me, right? So it's really weird because it's not something that is on the top of your mind when you're doing it. Yeah. I wasn't a franchise owner because I wanted to be accepted. I was wanting to make a living.
Yeah.
But the underlying motive was always there. When I joined this business, I'm telling you, I could see the potential. I wasn't even looking for work. Jay introduced me to this business. I was retired, so I was happy with my quiet little life, and I love your quiet life. Still, stillness and slow living is so important to me. But what I noticed, like you said, Vanessa, was the like-minded people. And the way the business is structured, it's attraction marketing. So it just fit with my life, with what I wanted out of life, was to attract people that had this like minds, so that I could expand, I don't even know what word I want.
It's almost like
Just
previous experiences. The acceptance came from putting on a show of what you think the people who you want that acceptance from want to see from you, and that's not true to who you are. And that's the amazing thing about working in the online space. You be true to who you are.
Yeah.
And everybody, there's billions, not just millions, there's billions of people around the world. And from those billions of people, how many of those people are going to be attracted to who you are?
The right people.
Yeah, exactly.
A whole community of people who are exactly the kind of people you need to be around. Yeah.
I love that. I quickly jotted down 8 different things that I was thinking, because I'm so scattered I'm like a squirrel all the time. And so sitting still is tricky in itself, but keeping my thoughts together are not easy. So I was thinking about if I could condense 8 points of not caring what other people think. Like, what is it we need to get over? So I'm just going to go through these because it will spur, I think, some of what we've already talked about is in here, but it will just create other thoughts as well.
Yes.
So accepting that someone else's opinion is not your problem.
Yeah.
That's a big one.
I love it.
You know what? Don't own the things you don't need to own.
Yeah.
That's huge. That's in life, period. Know that most people are not thinking about you anyways. How often do we think, oh my goodness, what are they thinking of me? Am I wearing the right clothes? Why do you care? But you know what? They're not thinking about that. They're thinking about the burger they're going to get or picking up the kids from school. They don't care.
No.
So we put too much value in that. And I think that's kind of a waste of energy myself.
We do. Yeah.
Ask yourself, does what you think they think even matter to you? Like, does it? In the bigger picture, is it affecting your day, what they think? And if it is,
yeah,
maybe again, that's the weeding out. You know, for me, that was huge in this business, to just let people go. Get comfortable with not knowing what people think. Now that's interesting, because you want to ask someone else, hey, what did they just say? Hey, were you guys talking about me? Get comfortable not knowing that.
Yeah.
Right? You're giving more peace to yourself, I think. Be fully present and aware of how you do what you want to feel. So if you're present in this moment and you know what you want to feel, are you projecting that to get that back?
Mm-hmm.
You know, sometimes if we're a little bit having a Debbie Downer day, that is going to draw that energy from other people. So is that really how you want to feel? Or do you want to just give energy and attract that back to you again? And I think once you realize that, you can switch your mood quickly. I rarely have a bad day, like super rarely. And I had one 2 Fridays ago, and it kicked my butt. And it was extremely bad. In fact, I don't know if I've had a day that bad in 10 years. It was horrible. and I'm also someone who doesn't like to ever feel sorry for themselves. So I don't stay upset for long. I let things roll really quick, which is maybe sometimes good and maybe not, because I feel if I vocalized it, I got it out and I dealt with it, it's dealt with. But that's not the case for everybody else. But for me, it is. So staying in that and understanding how do you want to feel, because sometimes I don't know that we stop to think, what do we want, right? See the benefits of being unique. So I know that I'm not for everybody.
Yeah.
I know I'm loud. I know that I can take over a room very quickly. I know that sometimes if everyone's uncomfortable, the best thing I can do is do something that takes that away from everyone else. So it's usually ridiculous. And I'm okay with that. But I know I'm not everyone's jam. Like I'm aware of that, and that's okay. Speak and live your truth. So you spoke on that. Live your truth. That's important. And my favorite thing that I have always, always, always done is ask for what you want. If you're not clear with clear intentions and you're not asking for what you want, then you're kind of skirting around things.
Right.
So if you want someone to treat you different, they're not mind readers. If you want to put the effort into that relationship, then put the effort in, but be clear about it. So I think that some of that with the business is much the same. And like you were saying, Jay, is like the people you don't want to ask your friends. You don't want to push it on your friends. Well, I do have quite a few friends in the business, but they have watched me through 20, 30 years, all the different jobs I've done, and guaranteed they sat on the sideline for good 2 years going, is she really going to last?
Yeah.
Is this really legit? And, and that was a bit tricky because they would needle me and I would be really clear. Have you watched the webinar? Like, that's where we're starting. Have you watched the webinar? If you haven't, we don't really have a lot to discuss. And I was kind of cut and dry with that, but I was actually speaking about this morning about this. My parents and my brother thought I was doing something illegal for the first 3 years. They were sure. And my mom would, at tax time, would freak out thinking the government's coming after me. And she's like, you're going to lose your job. And I was like, so clearly you still haven't watched the webinar, have you?
Yeah.
Like, stop. If you really care, watch it, because I'm not going to justify it all.
Yeah.
And that's just who I am too. I'm quick to apologize when I know I'm wrong, and I don't mind making mistakes, which I know for a lot of people that's hard. I really don't. I don't mind. I can move on quick. I'm not hard on myself for making a mistake, All right, here we go again. But I will not justify to everyone what I'm doing. And I think that was a big empowering thing for me. That is hard for a lot of people, but it's really not hard for me.
Yeah, it is definitely hard for a lot of people. And it stops people from succeeding. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, great points. I think we need to put those in the description.
Yes.
Yeah, that'd be a great.
Yeah. But let's link them to us, and we'll put them in the description of the video on YouTube here. I love those points. They hit the nail right on the head. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've never been a big person to care a lot about what people say, but you do get those. The weird feeling, you're like, oh, they're gonna think this or they're gonna think that, but you know what? Just that's a story. Stop.
It is a story.
Think about something different and move forward and know your truth. Like, know exactly this is what I want and this is where I'm gonna get it, and that's your truth. You don't have to worry about what other people think. And I liked that what you said is you don't know what other people are thinking. How many people are like, oh my God, these people are going to look at my whatever, and it's all they're going to see. Well, now you know what? That means you're thinking about that part of you. Like, as a makeup artist, this is the best example I can give. If I have somebody sitting in my chair and I do a makeover on them and they look flawless, but I put a lipstick on them that's not the color that they would normally wear, what are they going to do? They're going to be walking down the street with their hand over their mouth because they think the whole world is looking at their lips. They're not. It looks absolutely stunning, but it's not the color that they're used to. So it's your subconscious saying, everybody's looking at me. So anybody who does glance at you, where are they looking? In your head, they're looking at your lips. No, they're looking at you and, oh, there's a beautiful person. And they're continuing on thinking about their groceries, thinking about their mortgage, whatever it is that they're worried about that day. And they don't care about your lipstick. Right?
That's true. So true.
It's like, don't worry about what other people think is what I'm saying there. Like, they're not thinking what you're thinking. And another one, Mom used to own a gym. How many people are scared to go to the gym because they're afraid people are going to see this fat person on a treadmill and judge you? that's not what people in the gym are doing. They're going.
They're saying, "Go, sister! Look at you! Yeah, you got this." That's what they're thinking,
right? They're most people are thinking about themselves at the gym, honestly.
Okay, that is probably true.
Yeah,
But I always shift those things. If I'm feeling uncomfortable, I always shift something. I mean, I don't feel uncomfortable often, so that's maybe not fair, but I I don't want to allow myself to feel uncomfortable and like I don't belong. I don't care if I don't belong. Someone is going to take something away from it or they're not, but I want to feel good about whatever it is I'm presenting. I think that's the point is I want to feel good about how I come across to someone whose heart I hope I touch. That's what matters to me.
exactly. And that kind of is going to wrap up, I think, our topic today, because we're moving on to 20 minutes, and it's been a fantastic conversation. Don't get me wrong. I can go on for hours and hours and hours on this, but we like to keep it a little bit short on YouTube here so people will watch. And yeah, I want to, did it freeze up?
You're good on my side.
Okay,
Yep.
I'm going to keep going because my screen is frozen. So
You're freezing occasionally, but you're coming back every now and then. So
okay, well, I'm just going to wrap it up and say this has been an amazing topic. And if anybody is interested in living your true life and being your true person and finding a career that's going to, or an income stream that's going to benefit you for that, click the link in the description there and we'll send you to the webinar that we were talking about. And I hope I haven't lost everybody, but this is me saying bye for now. I can't even click the banner, so we're not going to be scrolling across the bottom of the screen. Mom, do you want to close out anything?
just want to say thank you so much, Vanessa, for joining us. It's been an honor having you on.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you.
It looks like Jay left.
We lost him. Well, thank you. Thank you for having me anytime. It's lovely connecting with other people.
It's been awesome. Thanks again.
Fantastic. Take care.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, I rebooted, but I'm just going to end the broadcast. I don't know if it's still live, but bye for now.